Thank you for joining us for the Collaborate Exhibitor Logistics webinar. This is in reference to your exhibiting with us for Collaborate 17, April 2nd through the 6th at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Let's get started. Here's our general agenda. We're going to go over some general information, some hotel reservation information, exhibitor registration, Freeman, our official service contractor, and some details there, some of our authorized Collaborate vendors, sponsorship opportunities that we currently have outlined and details around that within each user group. We will have a Q&A, which we're actually going to facilitate through a link to Smartsheet after the webinar. So you'll receive this recording, and then there'll be an ability through a link in the Smartsheet to submit any questions, which we can then route to your specific user group and get those answered and addressed for you. And then we also are going to host 2 other webinars in the coming weeks prior to the show for different components of the show and any questions and concerns you have. And we'll talk about when those will be and how you can get prepared to attend those. So as a great starting point, of course, is when is Collaborate 17? So again, it's the 2nd through the 6th, which is a Sunday through Thursday pattern at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. To note, all exhibits do need to fully be installed by Monday the 3rd at 2 p.m. The show floor does open on Monday the 3rd at 5:15, and that will be starting with our welcome reception on the show floor. And that window of time between 2 and 5:15, we do ask that you are fully installed and ready to go, because in that window of time we do last-minute cleaning, vacuuming, we roll the food and beverage out, get the bars situated, so that way we have a great, robust opening to the show floor. So Collaborate 17 is a jointly presented event. It's hosted by the Independent Oracle Users Group, IOUG, the Oracle Applications User Group, OAUG, as well as Quest International Users Group, Quest. We do have an anticipated attendance of around 5,500. Some general information we'll go through. These are the leads for the trade show team for Collaborate. So if you're affiliated with IOUG, Kate would be your contact. If you're affiliated with OAUG, it would be Marcy. And if you're affiliated with Quest, it would be myself, Julie Lewis. So certainly, please keep your user group specific trade show lead information handy. If any questions or concerns arise, you can either reach out to these folks directly, or again, if you are attending this webinar, we have sent out a link to the Smartsheet to submit questions there as well. So a question we get most commonly asked is, what does my booth come with? So that's ironic, but easily to go over. So each 10x10 space does include 1 full conference pass, as well as 3 exhibit hall only passes for your staff. Unfortunately, you're not able to utilize any of those passes for any customers or any additional folks you might be bringing with you that are not affiliated with your company. So these do have to be tied to your particular exhibiting company. You can't give those to a customer or additional folks coming from some other company. They have to come through you. And you also, of course, get a floor sticker indicating your booth number, a listing in our mobile app, that's a basic listing, as well as your ID sign and a wastebasket. Also, do note that caveat that those complimentary passes are contingent upon you booking within the Collaborate hotel block. So if you do stay outside of our Collaborate hotel block or book a hotel room not utilizing one of our 3 user group housing links, you would be subject to that $200 per person per registrant fee. These are some important dates and times for you to note: the exhibitor setup and teardown schedule. This is also housed on the very first page of the Freeman exhibitor kit. So exhibitor move-in starts Sunday, April 2nd from 8 to 5, and again Monday it resumes at 8 a.m. until 2 o'clock. We do ask that all exhibits are fully installed by Monday at 2. Also to note on your calendar, on that Monday, April 3rd, right before the floor does go live at 4:30, we will have a welcome reception for exhibitors on the show floor at the OVI Lounge. We don't have that booth number just yet, but it's usually in the back right corner of the hall. We'll have a little happy hour, we'll go over the registration numbers, answer any brief questions you might have, and as well give you an opportunity to get to know each of us. So should you have a question or concern during the show, you know which who to find on the floor and which user group they're with, so that way you have a face with a name and some ease of use for your contact. Your exhibitor move-out schedule is Wednesday at April 5th at 4:15 is when you can start dismantling. It goes until 8 that night, and then on Thursday resumes at 8 a.m. until noon. Please do note that you cannot dismantle your exhibit until 4:15 on Wednesday. So make sure you book your travel and staff your booth accordingly, because we wouldn't want you to have any struggles or problems by dismantling early. Here is our full schedule of the show floor, so certainly you'll want to take note of these days and times for your booth staffing. So Monday we have that 5:15 to 8 o'clock happy hour on the floor. That is the grand opening reception, a great influx of traffic, and certainly we're energizing and getting ready to gear up for a wonderful week. So you'll want to be present and have your booth populated during those hours. Tuesday we have from 9 until 4:15. We close the floor softly from 4:15 to 5:15. Meaning we don't, turn off the lights and everyone head out, but we certainly do ask that you wrap up your business from the 4:15 to 5:15 hour. Gives us time to, again, get the hall cleaned, prep for the happy hour on the floor that's going to start at 5:15, roll up the bars, and get our food and beverage lined up with the hotel. So then again at 5:15 the doors open, and from 5:15 to 7 we have another reception on the floor. Wednesday, the last day of the show floor, it is from 10:45 until 4:15. So it's a more abbreviated schedule. We let you sleep in a little bit on Wednesday, and then again you're unable to dismantle your exhibit space until starting 4:15 on Wednesday. So each user group does maintain its own specific Collaborate website, and this is for details that are outside just the general agenda that all three user groups follow. So certainly keynote addresses, session times, things like that are uniform across all three user groups to make for a cohesive experience. But there are specific agenda items that are tied to that individual user group, be that customer welcome receptions, party functions, and things like that, and specific session times. So please do refer to the user group you're affiliated with, Collaborate website for specific agenda details to know if there's things that might concern or interest you. Hotel reservations. So you do want to get your hotel reservations booked. Certainly we see year after year our blocks do fill up, and we do have some availability certainly still. The deadline for the best discounted rate is February 28th. So that is the next tier cutoff. We have different tiers of price points for the hotels. So you would want to get it done by February 28th to get the best price at this point. And please make sure you do go to your user group's website to find the correct hotel link to book. You'll have your reservation codes that you'll need to get from the hotel link to then enter when you make your registration for Collaborate. All user group hotel links have the same rates and the same availability. So certainly if you open up IAUG's hotel link or Quest's or OAG's, you're getting the same information, the same rates, the same availability. We do have discounted room blocks at the Mandalay Bay, Delano, as well as the Luxor. So those links are all housed on our individual housing pages, and again you do have to book through our hotel site to get the discounted registration. If you do book outside of that, like Expedia, Travelocity, your points or anything like that, you would not be valid, you would not get a valid hotel acknowledgement code to utilize for the discount for registration. So again, you just want to make sure you book through the hotel reservation link for the user group. You want to make sure you get the acknowledgement number from your hotel email confirmation, as that is the number that is required when you register. And then you do want to mark your calendars that if you have not booked by March 10th, at that point it does no longer within our discounted rates. You certainly will pay a much higher rate than if you book before then. So that February 28th date gets you the best price. The March 10th is kind of the last call for your hotel rooms without having to pay a fee higher than our contracted rates. So again, we do like to warn our exhibitors. There are lots of what we call pirates out there, and that are third-party companies and housing bureaus that mine our website for who's exhibiting at our shows to try to reach out to them. Obviously with today's technology and abilities to source contact details, it's not too hard to figure out who they should reach out to at any given company to then try to get them to erroneously think that they are the official housing bureau or they're a cheaper discounted way to get a hotel room or other resources for the show. So do note that we will never contact you specifically to book your hotel rooms. You will do that all through our websites. We certainly are happy to help you and walk you through that process, but if you receive an inbound call or an inbound email That is not coming from us, and they are not guaranteed reservations through us. Please also, if you do get reached out to by any of these resources, to certainly communicate that forward to your user group trade show lead. We do like to go contact those folks, let them know to cease and desist, and to certainly try to prevent the poaching as much as we can. Exhibitor registration. So you do have to be registered for Collaborate to attend, and you would not be admitted to the exhibit hall or any of the functions without your badge. So again, you'll want your booth staff to arrive earlier than that 5:15 opening to get their badge and credentials so that they're all ready to go to man your booth for the opening reception. You would want to pre-register prior to the conference. So you do receive your comp codes and registration directions from your specific user group that you were exhibiting with, and that online registration will close Thursday, March 30th. So certainly if you've not booked your hotel and made your registration confirmation by the 30th, you would then have to do so on site. It is a little bit of a longer process certainly than if you'd done it in advance, but we can definitely take care of you on site. We try to reach out to folks who have not registered in advance to say, hey, go ahead and get yourself registered. It makes for most ease of use on site. So again, we said that you get a full conference registration and 3 exhibit staff passes with your booth space. You can purchase additional exhibitor passes, both full conference as well as exhibit hall only. You can also upgrade those exhibit hall only passes to be full conference passes for your staff should you choose to. So this kind of details out the difference between the passes, as well as the rates at the bottom before the 2/16 early bird deadline falls. Those are the prices that it would be to either upgrade to purchase a full one or to get additional exhibit hall only passes. So if you do need more than your booth comes with, this is the methodology you'd use to get those. It's through the portal in which you utilize your passes to then purchase additional passes. Freeman. So Freeman is our official service contractor for Collaborate. You were sent the exhibitor kit back in early January in regards to the details for shipping, receiving, freight, ordering information, and that Freeman kit is really kind of your best resource. It has information on how to order electricity, how to order Wi-Fi. You wanted additional bar stools or tables or couches brought in, printed materials, graphics, signage. If you didn't have a booth and you wanted to rent one, they can certainly assist you with that. It's got lots and lots of details. If you did not receive your email from Freeman with the exhibitor kit, which the exhibitor kit comes in 2 forms, either a PDF form, which you can utilize old school with the forms and links in there, or if you got the email directly from Freeman, there's also a link on all of our websites to utilize the digital version, which allows you to set up a username, password, and for ease of use, it certainly behooves you to do that. So please check your junk or spam email filters if you haven't received it, or let your trade show lead know, and we'll certainly get it to you. Here is that link. This again would allow you to set up a username and password for Freeman to be able to order those resources online. And again, it's probably the easiest route to go, certainly. I pulled out of the exhibitor kit some important deadlines that you're going to want to note. March 3rd is the advanced freight receiving deadline, so that's when you can start shipping things. So you've had that box of tchotchkes at your desk for a few weeks now. March 3rd, it can start to be received by the warehouse for Freeman. March 13th is the discounted pricing deadline, so if you're ordering any materials from Freeman, signage, booths, furniture, carpet, anything like that, you want to get it ordered by March 13th to get the best cost savings. March 28th is the last day they would receive freight to the warehouse, so that's kind of the advanced freight deadline. Again, for the most cost savings and ease of use from that March 3rd to March 28th is kind of your window to ship everything that you've got. There are methodologies for shipping it after that point, but it's definitely giving you the best bang for your buck to do so by March 28th. And then on April 2nd, so that window of time between the 28th and the 2nd, they take all the materials from the warehouse, start to bring them to site. On April 2nd is when the show site receiving starts. So if you've missed that first deadline, this is kind of your next deadline to get it on site, to get it in play. So that's the show site receiving start deadline of April 2nd. And the labels to do this are all housed in the Freeman kit. So all the materials you're sending, whether it's the advanced warehouse or the show site, has specific shipping labels that would go on those materials. That gives us the best ability to get it to you at your booth number at the right time. If you did have questions outside of that Freeman kit, I kind of pulled this detail out as well. This is the address for their branch exhibitor services in Vegas, as well as their 800 number for exhibit transport information. So in addition to Freeman as our official service contractor, we have kind of put together an amalgamation of all of our vendors that are authorized to do business with you while on site. Again, most of these folks won't reach out to you directly unless it's through an email, and if you have any questions, if someone is or is not authorized, please reach out to your trade show lead. We're happy to articulate to you if yes, green light it, they are the right folks, or if you're being victimized by one of our unfortunate pirates. So first in that kit is the Mandalay Exhibitor Services. Those are certainly an authorized vendor with us. This is where you would order any food and beverage, your booth cleaning, your internet and telephone lines, electrical, rigging and hanging of signs, as well as any security needs you might have. You do want to make these orders placed by the 14th of March to get the best pricing. This is the website, and again, it's sort of set up similar to Freeman. You can log in, create a username and password, and order all those materials. There's also pageations in the Freeman kit that's a PDF to allow you to access those needs without setting up a username and password in a portal. Some other authorized vendors we have. So these forms are also in the exhibitor kit. They're also in the online one as well. But these are kind of who your key folks are for the show. So our AV vendor is Production Resource Group, PRG for short. Lead retrieval would come through American Trade Show Services, or ATS. Photographer is Christie's Photographic Solutions. And our floral vendor is the National Plant and Floral Incorporated. These folks are all committed to, one, being on site for the days of the show, being there to troubleshoot during the show, being authorized to be within the exhibit hall during all the times in which the show floor is being active, built, or live. And so they are the most cost-effective way to utilize the resources at hand because you're not paying any additional fees or handling information or anything outside of our preferred vendors. They're authorized. So some sponsorship opportunities. Certainly we do know that you're all exhibiting with us, so welcome to Collaborate 17. We're looking forward to having you on the show floor. If you did have some questions or concerns around specific opportunities, each user group does have sponsorships that might enable you to get a better reach into the audience at the show, to provide you some additional resources for getting some leads and activating your booth. So we'll go over these, each user group's specific slide. So IOUG has a few sponsorship opportunities they wanted to highlight. One is, of course, the mobile app upgraded listing. So you do get one general listing in our mobile app just by being an exhibitor. It's really simpleton. It's basically like your company name, a very brief, I think maybe a 1 or 2 sentence description, and I believe your website, and that's it. There's not really a lot of interactive capability by having the basic listing. So we do offer an upgraded listing in the mobile app. That allows you to put your logo, an unlimited word description, allows you to link to your social media. It also allows you to download kind of like what attendees have checked you out, as well as communicate with them directly. So it is a great resource, and certainly knowing that most attendees are going to use the mobile app for the majority of the show, it's a great way to get your name out there. The other piece that IOG would like to highlight is the track sponsorships. So you can sponsor one of their conference tracks and be a thought leader during the event and position you that way. So certainly if you have any detail you'd like more on this, please contact Jim Conlin, and his information is there on the slide. Now, OAG sponsorships. So there is a beer garden sponsorship at our closing party. We have one of those available. It is a really unique piece and component to the show is our closing party. It's very well attended. It certainly is a good time, but it's also a great kind of networking component as well to engage with customers and get your name and brand out there. That sponsorship does include some signage in the area of the party that houses the beer garden, your napkin, your logo rather, on napkins in the beer garden area, as well as sponsorship signage at the front of the party and in the agenda as a sponsor. Also, OAG has The Game on the trade show floor. It is called The Game. It's a great crowd pleaser, certainly lots of energy and fun. You're promoted through both social media as well as cool prizes and things like that to customers and attendants. Quest would like to feature the following. Questopoly is our game on the show floor. It's a way to help drive traffic to your booth, certainly, as well as kind of vet those leads early on and get some information quickly for who's coming by your booth. And we also would like to highlight the mobile app upgrade, because we do feel like it is a great benefit to exhibitors to have that larger listing and bigger presence in the mobile app. And there's the information below to contact. So for Q&A, again, you will receive a Smartsheet link after the recording is sent out, and that is where you would pose your questions. We'd be happy to review those and get them to the correct user group and send those out, answer them all after the show. Sorry, after the webinar. So as we said, there is going to be some additional webinars. So we have 2 more to do. So Quest, of course, hosted this one, and we have the other 2 user groups hosting the others. We have an exhibitor pre-show marketing webinar, which kind of covers our exhibitor marketing kit and how to really drive traffic and interest in your booth space prior to getting on site, how to promote yourself at the show. That will be housed on Wednesday the 22nd of February at 1 o'clock Eastern. The next exhibitor webinar we have is our on-site sales tips. So certainly any booth staff you have coming, anyone who's going to be there in person representing your company, it's a great webinar to help give you some best practices and ideas and first-hand experience from what we've seen at the show. So Tuesday, March 14th at 1 o'clock Eastern, if you want to mark your calendar. And I think that is all. Thank you so much for attending our webinar today. We hope it's been informative, and we're happy to help you out. Again, if you needed additional resources or questions, let me go ahead and close with having the screen of our user group specific details. So again, if you're with IOG, if you reach out to Kate, if you're with OAG, reach out to Marcy, and if you're with Quest, you'd reach out to Julie. We're all happy and at your service to address your needs. If you're not sure with which user group you exhibited through, just reach out to any one of us. We're happy to put you in touch with the right party. We all have the collective goal of giving you a great experience to making sure you get the most out of your presence at Collaborate. So thank you again, and have a wonderful afternoon.